Hello and welcome to Mtoto News Insights. My name is Omar Hamed. Open spaces are shrinking in the cities. Cartels are grabbing any environment with open spaces. Children are helpless because they have nowhere to play or ride their bicycles in the estates. Road and most public spaces are becoming unsafe for children. If you walk across most primary or secondary schools bordering roads, you'll see no zebra crossing for children. Matatus, restaurants and toilets are all unfriendly for children. As the Afri Cities is happening in Kisumu City in Kenya, today I will be joined by my panelists to discuss how safe our cities are for children. But first, let's have our headlines today.
Ile manyumba yetu hailingani na ile standard iko, lakini tunakaa hatuna ubaya wote.
A slum in Statehouse, we bring you the story of children walking 4 kilometers in the city in quest for education despite neighboring Statehouse.
There was around the rivers around here, like around 4 rivers, which were full of plastics and full of dirt, and he didn't like it.
What is the role of children in ensuring there's a clean environment? We will bring you the story of children meeting every weekend to clean their environment in Kibera slums. As Kenya hosts the Afri Cities Conference in Kisumu City next week, access to education, sanitation, housing and access to child-friendly spaces like playgrounds and safe roads is among the challenges facing children in Kenya. We took a walk to Sego slum less than 100 meters from Statehouse, Nairobi, to highlight the story of children living in the tiny slum and walk 4 kilometers in search for education despite neighboring the most powerful office in the country. It has been there ever since the Republic of Kenya gained its independence. I am talking about a slum right here in Nairobi, Kenya, known as Sego. The most unique thing about this slum is that it is located directly across Statehouse, Nairobi. Ironically, the people living in this place are not in good condition as compared to their well-off neighbors.
Jina langu naitwa Rose Mwikali ama Mama Alice.
Umekaa hii mtaa ya Sego kwa miaka ngapi?
Nimekaa miaka 13.
Ni changamoto gani ambazo mmepata hapa kwa hii mtaa ukiishi hizo miaka zote 13?
Miaka 13 siwezi kuona ubaya wowote, tunaishi vizuri, kuna biashara, sipokuwa tu ile manyumba yetu hailingani na ile standard iko, lakini tunakaa hatuna ubaya wowote. Changamoto ni upande wa maji, tunanunua maji si ya bure, mtungi ni 10, na kama una uwezo wa kulete kama mimi unalipa mtu 10 anakuletea. Haya, upande mwingine wa masomo watoto wanaenda mpaka mbali kidogo, inabidi upeleke kama ni mdogo kama huyu wangu. Sasa ametoka nursery ya kwani, inabidi umpeleke. Unaona? Sasa hiyo ndio iko tu. Chakula ni very expensive. Hiyo ndio shida kubwa. Hiyo ndio shida kabisa. Mafuta ya kukaranga huwezi pata. Unga inatoka 160. Na unga ya chapati ni 180. Sasa hivyo inakuwa ngumu sana. Maisha ni ngumu.
Changamoto zilizokuwa nazipata kwa biashara zangu ni transport na of course kama transport hakuna, jua vitu zitapanda. Jua fuel ikipanda, kitu itakuwa ngumu kupatikana. So lazima zipande.
Kuishi kwa hii mtaa ukiwa na watu ni stress. Mwanzo kama budget ya kupika ilikuwa tuso, jua ishafika 400. Sasa hii hata ni minimize chakula.
Ile inaweza kupanda especially ni mpande wa choo. Macho si sawa na tuko na watoto wadogo, unaona? Na at least wangetuwekea stima kama token. Stima inatusumbua hiyo, tunalipishwa ni mwenye plot na unit inalipwa na 40. Sasa unakuja unasomewa unit zako zimeenda inapika 1000 na unashindwa hii 1000 na unalipa nyumba 4000. Unaona kuna shida kama wangetuokolea na token.
As you have seen, in this area, there are both advantages and disadvantages. Most of them we've seen that they're complaining that the cost of living in this slum has drastically changed, forcing them to dig deeper into their pockets.
and they're also susceptible to high housing. Reporting from Mtoto News, my name is Omar Hamed.
Now on to other news. Drug abuse is a common occurrence in slum areas. In most instances, children suffer whether directly or indirectly. How does addiction affect children from families abusing drugs? Mtoto News caught up with one parent who regrets using drugs after being abandoned by his entire family due to addiction. Beatrice Ondo with that report.
Drug abuse is a very big problem here in Lakisama. It affects the children and even the youths.
Watu wasai unapata mtu yeta kuna 13 years. Unapata mtu ameshika hapo jaba atembea hapo hivyo na wenzake hapo hivyo na ngua hapo. Na amebonda mbamba kuna paraza mtu hii amepoteza vitu zake kichwa ngumu. Mtu mwenyewe umemwona akizaliwa. Ana crack na wewe mbaya sana. Mbona unashinda mtu nene huyo. Unapata wakapata vijana kama waine hivyo wamekaa hapo na vuta bangi. Na jive nyafuta bangi hivyo. Anazidi kujiingiza kwa hizo vitu. Na hiki nini miadarati ni mbaya, miadarati kiingia kwa damu kutoka ni ngumu.
Unaweza fanya nini ndio uji avoid na hizo drug abuse?
Jamii in effect nilikuwa napenda familia yangu unaona? Nilikuwa napenda familia yangu. Nilikuwa napenda wife, napenda watoto wangu. Hata mara mingi nimekuwa nikipiga simu atakuongea na watoi. Naongeleshwa mbaya kama sijatuma pesa naongeleshwa mbaya. Sasa ni 2 years jana watoi wangu. Hata kama ni wewe utafilaje? 2 years jana watoto wako. Hata penye yako najua yako sawa. 2 years jana wajana baba alikufa, baba yako alive unaona?
Kitu gani ungependa kuambia hao fulani nyoko hapo nje wenye wanatumia hizo drug abuse?
Mimi ningeweza kuambia tu drugs ipo. Kuingia ni rahisi lakini kutoka noma. Mtu akiona pengine mtu ana pengine yako na depression, na hiyo drug ndio solution. Drugs is solution. Solution ni ku keep your mind busy, unaona? Na keep your mind busy na una avoid wale mabesti unaona hawa anipoteza. Ndio kipindi zawaambia tu, unaona? Wa keep mind yao busy na watokea maarifa zao na yeye huyu anipoteza unaona.
You have heard it. Drugs are not good. Kuingia ni raha, kutoka ni matanga. Reporting from Mtoto News Insights, I'm Beatrice Oundo.
Thank you so much, Beatrice, for that report. Children involvement in environmental conservation is important in bringing up a generation that understands the importance of a clean environment. In Kibera slums, an organization known as Kibera Green has been working with children to clean their surrounding and mentoring them in different aspects. Doreen Kakai reports.
Climate change is a problem that is affecting people globally. Here at Kibera, an organization known as Kibera Green is playing its role to make sure that environment is clean.
Kwa majina naitwa Abdullahi from Kibera, a member of Kibera Green, an organization that is within Kibera, Kambimuru, mainly based in Darajani. We mainly focus on youth empowerment, sustainability, like the whole idea of making a difference in the community.
So hii idea ilianza aje?
Like the person who started the whole project, his name is Yakub Jafar, and he's done a lot of things in Kibera around everywhere, and one of the projects he has is Beat Plastic Pollution, which mainly focuses on reducing the risks of having plastic pollution around Kibera. And when we started, there was there are rivers around here, like around 4 rivers, which were full of plastics and full of dirt, and he didn't like it. He wanted to make a difference, so he gathered a few youths, and we came together with our spades and our rakes, and we tried to collect the garbage, and with time we saw a difference. We saw a difference in the flow of water.
So if I may ask, how are kids involved in this?
The kids are involved in one of our projects, which is called Lindy Young Voices. It is a project that is meant to empower the young kids. We have mainly been focusing on youths, but now we've decided to come down on kids. We have kids from class 1 up to form 4 in different categories. We have actors, we have dancers, we have public speakers, models, we have children who are fighting for plastic pollution. The response from the community is very positive, considering the fact that we normally have cleanups the last Sunday of every month, which includes the women, the men of the community. All of us come together. We have a cleanup. We do like a major cleanup around Kibera, and we also have the kids who, when the schools are closed, the kids normally come on Saturdays. We have a cleanup around the area, around the school, and the feedback is very, very positive. I really appreciate the community for really appreciating us and working hand in hand with us. Yes.
They have also involved children in cleaning their environment by picking plastic and recycling them. That's making the environment friendly. Reporting from Mtoto News, I'm Doreen Kakai.
Thank you so much, Doreen. And that story takes us to a break here at Mtoto News Insights. But don't go too far, we still have that conversation on Afri-cities. Are our children safe in the cities that we have here in Africa? Most specifically, we are talking about Kenya. There is a conference, a Pan-African conference that will be held in Kisumu. And today we'll be talking more about this Afri-cities conference. So stay tuned. Welcome back to Mtoto News Insights. Before we took a break, I had highlighted on the topic that we are to discuss right now with my panelists, and currently they are here. We are talking about better cities for African children. Are our children safe in our cities today? And we are linking it with the event that's happening next week called the Afri-cities that's being held in Kisumu. Today I have my panelists, so I'm going to let them to introduce themselves. Maybe I can start with you.
Thank you so much, Omar. My name is Brian King, trained journalist in Mtoto News, also a child and global advocate.
Thank you so much, Brian. Yes.
Thank you, Omar. I'm Daisy Njoroge. I'm a high school student in Nile Road School.
Thank you so much. And you're also a trained journalist at Mtoto News?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
My name is Evans Ochino and I am a trained journalist at Mtoto News.
Asante sana, Evans. So I'm going to start with you, Brian King. Now, are children safe in our cities today, or are you as a child safe in our cities today?
I would say I'm not safe enough, considering we have a lot of traffic in Nairobi here. Our traffic lights are not even functional. Let me just leave it at that. Our traffic lights are not functional, at least not functional enough, so leaving me vulnerable to traffic accidents.
Thank you so much, Brian. Daisy, are you as a child safe in our streets of Nairobi today?
As for me, no. We're not. For me, specifically, I'm not safe because we lack zebra crossing on the specific roads. We lack zebra crossing and footbridges, making it hard for students to be crossing those roads to go to wherever they are headed to school or something.
Asante sana. Evans, you as a child, maybe as you're walking to school, maybe as you're going to visit your friends, maybe as you're going to play that PlayStation that you play, are you safe as a child?
No, I'm not safe actually, because as Daisy said, no zebra crossing, and apart from that, there are some people who do trafficking for children, as in they traffic children and go and do things that are not good to them.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Evans. Now, Brian, I'm coming back to you. Do you think there's this event that's upcoming next week in Kisumu? It's called the Afri-cities, where different countries come together to discuss matters on development, infrastructure, to give each other ideas. Do you think that it's important for children to be involved in the conference?
Yes, I think it is very important because first off, the major infrastructural changes actually tend to affect kids more. I mean, we kama Mtoto, you go to hospitals, right? You go to schools, right? You use the roads to go to school and to go to hospital, right? Even just to travel, the street lamps affect you because of safety. I mean, Evans mentioned cases of child trafficking rising. That is because we lack enough safe spaces in our societies, right? Our communities are not gated enough. So, I mean, them going and sitting around tables and just discussing without involving us is not effective. I cannot say it's effective because they might fix the issues, but remember that if they don't fix ours, we grow with those issues and we bring more issues to the table. You see, as in, when we are old in this next 3 years, it's going to be us bringing new issues and forgetting about children. So it's going to be just like a cycle, not effectively changing anything at all. So yes, I think we should have a representative for children, for youth, for adults, even for the aged maybe, you see. Yes, because every single person brings their own kind of perspective to the table. Yeah, so I think we should be included.
Thank you so much, Brian. Let me come to you, Daisy. Now, Daisy, I want you to speak from a girl's perspective. Yeah? You as a girl, what are some of these things that happen in the streets or out there as you're going to school, as you're going to your friends, that make you feel like you're unsafe?
First of all, as girls, we are vulnerable to the societies that we are around right now. And so as we face a lot of issues, like when you're going to school, you can even get kidnapped. Like what Evans had talked about trafficking, it has been a big issue affecting us as girls. You can find a girl got kidnapped and is later found dead. Another issue that we have in the society, we are not given a platform to talk about our problem as girls. They generalize the issues affecting children, leaving out the specific issues that affect us as girls.
Daisy, for that. Asante sana. Now I'm coming to you, Evans. Now, Evans, as a child, what are some of these issues if you are given the opportunity to go to the Afri cities? Unfortunately, children, there wasn't any children involvement in this year's discussion. Wewe kama Mtoto, what are some of these things ungetaka ziongelelewe hapo kwa hiyo conference?
What I would want them to talk about is about the matatus, you know. Today, when even a child is going to school, let's say the school does not have a school bus or happen, you know, so he's forced to go and just use the matatu, and you know, the matatu is not even stopping for the child to get in, it's just moving, so the child can even get injured. Apart from that, I can say children are just not safe, because when they go to school, or the traffic lights are there, but they don't have eyes in the road, because you know, maybe a child wants to pass, but he may stay there on the road for even 30 minutes so that the traffic light can tell the cars to stop, but still the cars will not stop. So I think they should put more traffic lights, or apart from that, more police to be on the road so that they can do something about it. Yes.
Asante sana, Evans. Now, before we take another break here at Mtoto News Insights, I'm going to come back to you, Brian. Now, Brian, do you think the government, NGOs, and maybe social services, mostly let's go to the government kwanza, tuanze na government. Do you think wamefanya enough to ensure children are safe on our roads? Ama kama unaona wamefanya enough ni sawa, ama unaona bado there's some changes, there's something that needs to be done? Kuna hapa, this place doesn't look right, this needs to happen.
Okay, Umar, kuna history ya serikali saidia. It has been happening for a while. Let me just change the subject completely. Let's go to violence against children and women. Okay, let's just focus on children. So, what is the government doing to protect children? Because they are the main stakeholders. We're talking about government. When it comes to violence against children, they are the main stakeholders. They are the only people who can actually do something about it. Apart from the community, they are the next. In fact, they are the top by making sure we have security in places like Isiolo. Like right now in the country, there is violence. children there are not safe. There was a time in Garissa there was a curfew and children were really hurting because they had to rise up in the morning and wait for the curfew to end before they could actually go to school, and then in the evening you see it affects their education, it affects their psychological well-being. Unaendaje shule ukijikuta kwenda kutrace na gun? You see, as in, it's all about the government and what it's doing. Another thing is the perception. Maybe we can talk about this later, but it's all about how you think and how you take your children as. We are not dumb. Like to say, we are really not dumb. We can join a meeting and we can give our head full insight. You've had Evans, you've had Daisy, you've had me. We have our own insights, and yes, I believe we should be more included, including the government. It should include us more, and maybe we can even get a child representative in parliament.
Yeah, by the way, that's something we look up for very much before not even 2030, by 2025 we should have a
yes,
child.
Our cities constitute mainly of kids. We don't have enough representatives, and even if we do, the adults. Who does that, Omar?
The adults.
Imagine who does that.
Okay, we are taking our first break. No, actually our second break here at Mtoto News Insights, but stay tuned. We're still going on with the conversation. Welcome back to Mtoto News Insights. We are continuing with the conversation here about better cities for our children. Now we were on you, Daisy. Now, Daisy, do you have playgrounds in your school? And if they are there, do you think they are compatible with children? Because I know your school ranges from Form 1 to Form 4. No. Is it compatible with everyone and every activity? Because see football,
no. First of all, the playgrounds that we have in the schools, you find like grass has grown in each and every place. The school lacks funds for like bringing someone to like cut down the grass or something. And then the only games that we have in school is only football, because you may find a school may not be able to have funds for making like a basketball pitch or something. So you find that the game that can be played in school is something like volleyball, football. Those are the common games that you'll find right now in schools, because the playgrounds are not safe for us. You may even find a school that the school area is fenced, but the playground in which the students use, it's not fenced. Even cars, even motorbikes, people pass through there when, let's say, it's during the PE time or even games time. You may find people passing through there because the field is not fenced. So we are set for a lot of harm there, because maybe you're playing something like football and then a car passes. What if it hits you?
Yeah.
So you find the playgrounds are not safe enough for us, and even if you find them they are fenced, you may find them with these small panya roots. And so it's not really safe for all of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Asante sana, Daisy. Now I'm coming to you, Evans. Evans, you are a primary school student, right?
Yes.
And I know now in primary there are all classes from pre-unit, from class 1 to up to 8, right? Now, is there enough playgrounds? Are there enough playgrounds for you for all of you, like to ensure that each and every single person is enjoying their play in school?
Actually, no, I can't say no, because if you look at the playground, if a child falls down, it will be so hurting, because it is just pure cement, no grasses or it's just pure cement. So if anybody falls down, it's just going to be bleeding or something like that. And then what I can say, at our homes in Kibera, no playgrounds, especially because the landlords or landladies wants to have much money. So you may find that in just a small land, you have 15 houses in a land like this. And if you look at it well, it was a playground in the back. So the government should take, as in, wakuwa wanachukua lands na wanaziacha free for children, because children unapata mtoto anasikia kucheza sana, maybe football, but hakuna uwanja, and so hiyo ilikuwa talent yake, but vile imefika hapo talent yake ameikalia tu hivyo, imeenda tu kwa mchanga tu. So hadi akifika mkubwa unaweza pata akiwa mdogo alikuwa master lakini amesha grow. Hata hizi piga tu kick. Yes.
Asante sana Evans. So I think the government should consider this, that there be enough playgrounds for children to even maintain their talents for football, basketball. Basketball courts should be built even in slums, volleyball and such. So we also highlighted that we're talking about the Afri-Cities Conference, which is happening in Kisumu. So I'm coming to you, Brian. Now, this year's theme in Afri-Cities is managing urbanization in the transformation of the continent's local and regional authorities. Now, how do you think they can link children in this theme? Because it's talking about managing urbanization in the transformation of the continent's local and regional authorities. And you see there's urbanization, which we're actually talking about cities in Africa. Are they safe now? How do you think they can bring in the aspect of children in this?
Okay. As I'd said earlier before we went on break, I mentioned perception, right?
Yeah.
How do the adults take their children? How do your parents consider you? Do they think you're mature enough, or even just a bit to actually be able to accommodate the idea of growth and development? We're talking about urbanization here. And I'm sure in that conference, those men and women there will be talking about creation of space, health facilities, schools, water facilities, which are all important, but we tend to forget something. We tend to forget how important playgrounds are in our society. I love that they both mentioned playgrounds in the ideas, because, I mean, come to think of it, Omar, how many playgrounds are in your society? Just how many? Because in mine, I don't think we have any actually. And we have like a dozen kids, like a dozen. And now the thing is, those kids watatoka hapo nje, they'll go play on the road, an accident occurs, we lose a child, or a child loses a limb, or a child gets hurt, Omar, or even tuachilie tu mtoto, just think about your little brother. Me, I know my cousin got a bike and he ran off like completely. We had to find him, like, I don't know where. Now imagine you give your child a bike, there is no place for him to ride it. So what does he do? He just runs off to the road, and in the best case scenario, he is not hurt, right? But someone finds him. Child kidnapping happens, child trafficking happens. A child is lost. As in, I think it's all about perception and how the adults actually consider the importance of children facilities. Health is very important. Survival is very important. Food and education. We tend to forget play, which is actually among the key pillars of rights, right? Growth and development. You cannot have that without including children facilities. By this I mean what? Safer toilets. How many toilets are safe for children, Omar? How many even buses, public transportation is safe for children to travel alone? Because we know we do. I started going to school alone when I think I was in class 6. I don't know about them, maybe they can tell us. Yes, and then look at that, as in just playgrounds. Me personally, I want to focus on playgrounds because I think as long as we try and get them, and not just playgrounds, even samesema just pure cement and grass, overgrown grass, which can harbor snakes. Unaweza patiwa playground iko you harbor for death because of snakes and all. We're talking about complete playgrounds, safe carpeted grass, proper playing equipment, safe playing equipment, not rusted swings like the ones I was swinging in when I was as a child.
And do you think the government has the resources?
I think it does, Omar. We just launched a multi-billion project last year. We are planning on launching one to clean up Dandora dump site, and they can always complain there is no space, right? Omar, we can always make space. One way or another, we can make space. If we consider it important enough, we will make space. We will find space.
We can clear the dumping site for.
Thank you. We can clean it up, build settlements around there, shift people, and do what? Build a playground.
Asante sana, Brian. Now, as we are wrapping this up now, Daisy, what would you like the government to do for children who are lacking playgrounds? And also I want you to talk on the perspective of also sanitation in the city, because sometimes you might find that, like me, for example, I'm a child, but I always forget to pee at home. So as I'm going to town, you can just imagine my situation. So what do you think the government can do to help people like me?
People like you really need a lot of help, because first of all, they're not alone. They are many of them outside there, because you find some are from rural places. They're like come to visit somebody who is here, and they're like, Mom, I want to, and yeah. So they can like, they should not mix children toilets with adult toilets. And also they should specify on disabled people. This, like, they have a section for disabled people toilets, for the public toilets for the able men and women, and then specifically for kids, because you may find a kid has gone to a public toilet, because generally right now they are for everyone, even disabled, everyone in the, like in the city, everyone. So when you find a kid going there, that kid will end up messing up everything there, and everyone will be told, kaini hapo nje ngojeni kwanza, so that the others can clean the mess or something. So we can have like something specifically toilets for kids, even if it's just next to the public toilets, because you cannot tell me a kid's toilet can be 1 kilometer to the adult toilets. So like they be near each other, and to just give them their own space and their own equipment and facilities, everything. Coming to the issue on playgrounds, we have in Nairobi right now, we have this issue of land grabbing. It has been happening a lot, and Embakasi Ranching has been viewing on that a lot, because you find in the past, lands were, like when you had to look at the maps, the land was specifically based on being a playground. But right now, you'll find a mall or something built where a playground is supposed to be, and the government is not doing anything about it. It's just taken there, and then it's stated that it's a public place, it's supposed to be a playground. They'll just take us, and then after that, they like bribe each other with the government, and then it's over and done with. So you find in an area, as Brian had said, you'll find in an area you don't have even a single playground. So it's either you play and the corridor to your plot area, they're the corridor, or the other choice is either you play on the road. And because as me as a child, I also want to be safe, so I won't go and play on the road as for me. So I'm left to, right now, why we are dealing with the issue of internet being harmful to kids is just that we don't have a safe place to go and play. So I just idle at home, I just stay there, and the only companion I have to like give me company is my phone. So the playground, if it was there, like I would have woken up, do some chores at home, and then I'll be like, niko na ball saa tano, something like that. So I won't have time for my phone or something, and we won't have these internet issues of cyberbullying, because you find the people who are severely bullied are the kids, because we don't know how to speak up for ourselves in the internet and the websites. So you find as we need playgrounds to keep us busy and also nurturing our talents.
Evans, we are wrapping this up. Actually, we've used a lot of time. Now, you as the governor of Kibera sub-county, sindio? You are part of the Kenya Children's Assembly, sindio?
Yes.
Yes. Now, what ungetaka government ifanye nini about things like sanitation? Mostly we are talking about toilets in Kibera, because I know there are some places in Kibera that don't have toilets. What do you want the government to do?
What I can say, because of time, I shorten it. I say this. The government to put toilets in, they should take some places that you may find houses are crowded, maybe 5,000 houses and no toilet. So what we should do is that the government puts toilets, and the toilets should be 2, actually 3, for the people who are disabled, for the children, and for the big ones. You know, if they mix the toilet for the for the adults and the children may have done a mess. So maybe
for the adults. Continue.
Or so the adults will be told to wait for some time outside. So apart from that, what I can say again, they take build something for, as in a playground. You may find these days children have phones, laptops, tablets, and so it's keeping them busy because no
playgrounds.
Yes, no playgrounds. And you may find that my friend who was physically fit because of the playground now is not fit because he's not playing football,
He's just interneting.
Yes, he's on the phone every time. So the government should put playgrounds for just not for the other things, but even for physical fitness.
Yeah.
For the last thing I can say, the government should put, as in, things that can help children not to be idle apart from the playgrounds.
Apart from the playgrounds, maybe even play swings, play sets.
Yes.
Things that will help them to be physically fit. Wow, this has been a really good conversation. Are you guys excited?
Very.
Yeah.
Brian, how are you?
I'm cool, I'm fine, I'm happy.
Yeah, we're happy.
I'm in a complaining mood.
Because, okay. Thank you so much. Now, this has been a really good conversation. Keep the conversation flowing. Like I always remind you on our social media platforms at Mtoto News, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can also find me at Omar Hamed 83 on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We have been talking about better cities for our children here in Africa. Most specifically, we're talking about Kenya. Do you think that children are safe? You from your area, or maybe if you are a child and you're watching this, do you think you are safe? Rise up, speak. Child advocacy is not only for children here in Mtoto News, it's for everyone. Each and every single child in this country. You're advocated. You should fight. You should speak out about things like environment. Go to Instagram, go to Facebook, Twitter. Use strong hashtags like hashtag we want playgrounds, and we will get these things so that we can grow with fitness, like Evans has said here. For now, I have been your host, Omar Hamed. Goodbye.